Hey guys, J77 here doing another flashback review, pretty much going back to back until at least Halloween. Talk about some supernatural, suspenseful horror films that I have seen in the past. And I'm going to continue on. We'll talk about Skeleton Key. I'm not going to give too much into the plot line. Just know it stars Kate Hudson. It also the theme pretty much involves voodoo as well as the supernatural in some cases, but most importantly, it follows a suspense where you don't really know what's happening until the very last moment. And this is where I am a little bit disappointed in this movie. First off, let me just go on and say that Kate Hudson's role, playing Caroline Ellis, who is a nurse who takes a position at a private hospital, at a private home in an isolated plantation. She actually did a very good job with this character. She was actually very interesting. I wanted to see how she go about the situation that befalls her as she tries to care for this guy who seems to have lost his voice or can't speak or is very, very sick. Things started to get a little weird, especially when strange stuff was starting to happen to her. She don't know what it is. She starts seeing images, shadowy images of a person that is not supposed to be in the house, and things really start hitting the fan when it was very clear that she's being set up for something. What it is, we just do not know. The film disappointed me for a lot of things. When they started explaining the house past, especially with the two servants who was practicing voodoo on the youngest of residents in there, the two children, that was pretty much well explained. It pretty much gave away the movie to me. It gave away the movie in a way that that it never really recovered. Again, suspense films are very, very tricky because you have to know how to keep the audience interested. You got to keep the people guessing. There wasn't really no guessing. Once she threw it out there, once they showed the backstory of the history of the house as well as people who had once lived there, it was very, very clear as to what was going on. And I was hoping that they do a kind of a flip change, but it didn't. It didn't happen. The character Caroline was skeptic of voodoo. She didn't believe it, but she did the unwise thing of practicing voodoo, which got her into even more trouble than what it's worth. In the end, it didn't end very happily for her or for anyone for that matter. And after that, the film just pretty much ended. It was a very not so happy ending, and I think a lot of people wasn't too thrilled about the ending. A lot of people who I spoke to after I saw this film myself wasn't very pleased with the way they're going. I particularly felt like this was one of those movies that really wasn't going to get too big of applause for the ending and the predictability of this movie. This movie is very predictable. Right when the minute they explained everything about the past, that was it. The film just went from one predictable situation to another predictable situation, and it never really came back from there. There were some scary images in this movie that I actually liked. I actually liked the Kate Hudson's energy in this movie. She really did. I really did like the character. I just wish I liked the movie more better. It's not a terrible film. It's just not a good film. Not good enough for me to say that it's one of the best suspenseful films that I've seen because it was just so predictable. The horror elements really did depend on the imagery, and some of the imageries were pretty much horrifying. But that was pretty much it. I didn't really have a jump scare or reaction scare to anything that was on the screen. That's very unfortunate because I actually was really looking forward to seeing this film, especially when I didn't know what this film was really all about. It wasn't until I actually sat down and saw this film that I realized what I was getting myself into. It is one of those good sit-down matinee films. Something if you're not busy to sit down and watch. If you're looking for more of a scare volume to it, where you want to get scared, you want to get that kind of jolt, and you want to keep yourself in suspense, not knowing what happened next. This film doesn't really have that quite a punch. 2 stars. It is definitely. I wasn't mad at the film. I didn't regret it. I just wish that the film would be more suspenseful in terms of what they was trying to throw out there. But in any case, there were some good things about it. Acting was fine. The pacing was okay. It's just the overall theme of the story pretty much wear thin once they easily reveal what was going to happen right straight from the middle of the movie. So that's my take on Cisco and the Key. If you guys agree with my opinion, that's fine. If you're not, that's fine too. Leave your comments below. Let me know. But until then, this is J77 saying take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.